We gotta save Ichigo so he can save the Soul Society. Hey everyone, welcome to Prince the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War, episode 5. So, Ichigo has been trapped. He's been trapped within the portal between Waco Mundo and the Soul Society because the Quincy don't want him interfering because he's a threat. And, I mean, fair. But I feel like there's more to this that we just haven't found out yet. I'm very interested to see where all of that goes and how Ichigo gets out of there. Is Kisuke going to help? Chad has a big hole in him right now, or he might be able to heal that, but Jesus. And Soul Society is just getting fucked up. Like, a bunch of the captains have had their Bankai stolen. We have, like, just a shit ton of people being violently murdered. It's not a good time. I mean, unless you're part of the Vandenreich, then you're probably having an absolute blast. But I'm very curious as to how this invasion is going to go, because like I've been saying the past couple episodes, it's like just go, go, go. They're like just rushing into it. And that really makes me curious as to what the plan is going to be here. Because this seems like the end game. Like bursting into the attack and everything already. Seems like it would be their end game plan, but they're doing it right off the bat. I believe I said last time that it might be their end game though, because like they've been waiting on this for so long. But that kind of leads me to wonder, is Ichigo going to get there and stop this? And if so, what are going to be the Quincy's next move? A lot of questions in regards to how this is being done so far. I'm just wondering exactly how long we're going to have to wait for Yuhabaha to actually, really fight. I'm not expecting him and Ichigo to go head to head until like the end of the arc, pretty much. But I'm wondering if we're going to see him fight before that, even against someone like Head Captain Yamamoto, which would be fitting considering it's mentioned that they've fought in the past. I really want to see him in action, you know what I mean? But there's others I want to see in action too, including some of the captains like Kiraku. Would definitely like to see him really, really go at it. There's just a lot I'm looking forward to, and honestly, I haven't been this excited in Bleach in a long time, since I watched it originally. So that's very exciting for me. It's very nostalgic, and a really, really good kind of nostalgia that I almost feel, fittingly enough, I missed. I feel like I haven't had this kind of nostalgia for quite a while, so it's very cathartic to kind of experience that again. But it also presents itself in a new, fresh, better animated way that helps it feel like its own thing as well. So it's not just nostalgia, it also adds that layer of modern quality to it. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see how that continues. But the best way to do that would be to just get into it. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to check out this episode and see what it has in store for us. Cutting in here real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about the gaming stuff on the Princess of Gaming channel. We have Baldur's Gate 3 every single day, Horizon Forbidden West every Monday and Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays is Life is Strange Double Exposure. Wednesdays and Sundays is Beyond Two Souls. And Saturdays we have Nier Automata. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get to today's video. I do redirect everything just due to copyright reasons. And please, subscribe to the channel and like this video if you want to see more awesome content such as this. But thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. Let's get to today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So we find out that not only do they steal Bankai, but they can actually use them from that point on. However, utilizing the Bankai, they do not have the full knowledge and skill and whatnot associated with it. They're basically just using a forceful activation of it in order to gain the most general sense of using it. It's like if there's this, let's say there's this legendary swordsman who has like the greatest, like best made sword in the world, right? Let's say some random person picks up the sword. Obviously, the sword will be able to still do some damage. It's amazingly sharp. It's extremely quick, extremely well made. It's going to be able to do some damage with anyone holding it. But the only person who will have known exactly how to use it is the person who uses it, the person who has mastered it. It's the case of mastery over just the general ability of the weapon. And in this case, it's like the Bankai on its own is strong, but it doesn't do anything to Yamamoto because he's literally fought his lieutenant at every step of the way of training that Bankai. And yeah, it left him a scar when it was untrained and unused the first time he experienced it. But, like, honestly, it's debatable as to whether this was even as strong as that. It's debatable if, like, that was even equatable because it didn't seemingly leave any damage on him. Granted, he's obviously a lot stronger now than he was all the way back then, but still. It is very interesting as a development that they're able to use it. But yeah, I think that's more gonna like only affect shock value. It's gonna shock the users and everything to have their Bankai turned against them, which is why Byakuya was so absolutely destroyed there. He had like no real way to guard against his own Bankai against Sebon Sakura, and no knowledge that it was going to be able to happen in the first place. So it caught him off guard. But with Yamamoto, he wasn't defending against his own Bankai. He was defending against his late lieutenants, someone who he's seen use the Bankai many, 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 many times. Someone whose Bankai has been used on him many times. And we actually get to see the first time that happened here. And that shows that it's like, that was just not a smart idea. Trying to use his lieutenant's Bankai against him it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's not going to surprise him as much as using his own Bankai against him. Not that he needed to even go that far to have his Bankai stolen in the first place. But on top of that, he's, again, faced this before and can tell instantly that it's like, that's nothing. That's a pale imitation. Meanwhile, we also have another person who has taken out some of the Quincy, besides just Yamamoto taking out O. Zaraki has taken out 3 of them because he's fucking Zaraki. Like, if anyone's going to be able to take some of the Quincy, some of the Vandenreich out with ease, it's gonna be Zaraki. Dude is insane. I love his reasoning too. It's like, oh, well, they were strong, but I just, became stronger. It's like, okay, just do that. But he like goes into all of them. Okay, the first guy just turned into a big monkey. I just cut him in half. Second guy kept yapping. I ripped out his throat. Third dude, kind of tougher. He kind of became me. So that's when I had to, step beyond and be stronger than myself. And it's like, all right, sure. My dude, how do you work? Really funny, though. And then he's just like, oh, hey, you're the guy in charge, right? And then he just attacks Yuhabaha, who isn't even bothered by it at all, of course. As strong as Zaraki is, I don't think he's on Yuhabaha's level. But Yamamoto is probably heading that way, so we're probably going to get that fight I was talking about. That being said, we see that Ichigo is still trapped. He has not been freed yet, but on the outside in Hueco Mundo, someone has killed the Stern Ritter there, whose name was like Opie or something like that. Someone killed him when he was about to attack, and it surprised Kisuke. He seemed surprised about it, so we didn't get to see who it was. It showed a sword being pointed, a Zanpakuto, I presume, being pointed at him, but we didn't actually see any detail of who it was. It was being kept a secret for now. We saw Rukia debut in Thousand Year Blood War over the phone, but then eventually we right after we saw her like in person. I don't think she was in the last episode, at least. They showed a bunch of them in the last episode, but even if she was, she didn't speak until this episode. She went to go and try to help Byakuya, but because of such, she turned her back on the enemy she was facing at the moment and got cut down. So Rukia's down for the moment. That's lovely. Everyone's being taken down. It's like, outside of like Zaraki and Yamamoto, everyone's being like fucked over in this fight. And Yamamoto's spirit is definitely like giving people some encouragement at the end there, but we haven't really seen what comes of that yet. The fact of the matter is that like the Vandenreich is winning this at the moment. That might be about to turn around, but at the moment they are absolutely winning. And like, even if they're forced to retreat, they'll still have the Bankai that they stole. Because the thing is, we see with this episode, with having Yamamoto's lieutenant Choji, or whatever his name was, having his Bankai, he's dead. So when they steal a Bankai, it persists after the original owner's death. Meaning that even if they were killed, that the Bankai probably wouldn't return or anything. It's trapped in the device. It would probably have to be actively released. And I don't know if anyone can do that besides one of the Vandenreich too. So like if maybe one of the Vandenreich died and left behind, like let's say Byakuya's, the device that had Byakuya's Bankai in it. Would anybody else be able to utilize the device and release his Bankai to go back to him? Or would it just remain in the device and no one else can open it besides a Quincy? Maybe even specifically the one who took it. There's a lot of questions we just don't have answers to right now. But obviously, we're more focused on the action and the intensity and just how efficient this attack has been. And Ichigo being unable to get involved is definitely what is allowing it to be even more efficient than it would be otherwise. If he were unleashed, like, they'd probably still be pretty efficient, but he would definitely be putting a stop to a lot of this. So this is going to be very interesting to see develop and to see how this fight goes next time, both with Shunsui going into battle and Yamamoto heading presumably towards Yuhabaha. I'm very, very excited to see some more great action. And I want to see the captains start to take things back. That would be really, really cool if, like, Yamamoto's influence helped them, like, start to fight back enough to at least stand a chance. But I guess we will see. I would love to hear your thoughts, though, so tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Bleach, the Thousand Year Blood War? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.